all the conference realignment, we have to talk about HBCUs in football, the MEAC and the SWAC, because I asked you this question last year. I said, with all this conference realignment, what does this help or hurt the HBCU schools with the MEAC or the SWAC? I asked you that last year. I got to ask you this year. How does this new conference realignment hurt the talent pool looking at HBCUs and the MEAC and the SWAC? What do the MEAC and the SWAC need to do to at least survive this tidal wave? Because this feel like when 50 Cent hit the rap game and JC said, a tidal wave is coming through. Y'all better get your projects off. A tidal wave with conference realignment is happening. What do the MEAC and the SWAC need to do so they don't get flooded?
They need to combine forces. Either that or let me put this in perspective. Let me bring up just one jewel. So we cover CAA football. Hampton and North Carolina A&T are both in the CAA. So that's 2 universities. Tennessee State is in Atlantic Sun Conference, if I'm not mistaken, or Missouri Valley, I'm sorry. That's 3 HBCU universities. Just put your pride aside and call them and say, yo, let's make this a super conference and start competing, because I'm telling you they're going to get left in the cold. When I'm looking at the media days, they look so comfortable. I think, let me say something. Dion was trying to get he was trying to get everybody on the same page. They didn't want to do it. I can assure you, you're going to be knocking on somebody's door to get in their program. They don't really cater to HBCUs like that. So the CAA, which much respect to them, because they reached out. The CAA ain't stupid. They see it. For whatever reason, the SWAC don't think like we just gonna be here and we gonna survive. Let me tell you something. The Pac-12 had 105 years. Look at where they at right now. Because they were so cocky. First let me say this. They had 2 commissioners that didn't know what they was doing. One that was so cocky and arrogant, got paid and got fired and bounced out and said bye-bye. And the other one, he just didn't know I don't think he was aware of what could happen because of who he had with him. 105 years.
Down the drain
and gone. Like you ain't even gonna exist. I'm telling you. And I hear the rumblings, like what you said, they could add 2 teams and make a conference, because that's what the MEAC did. They stuck with 6 schools. It's only a matter of time. You either are going to get with the program and adjust and adapt. It's kind of what we was talking about when we started with the political thing. Remember what I said? We're no longer doing this. You know why the generation, I'm not trying to sidetrack. You know why the older generation, the younger generation wasn't getting along? And I'm not disrespecting my grandparents, who is. They came from a culture where this was the way things were done. And they thought that working hard and doing this was going to get us to another level. It got us to a certain level, but there was another level that we missed. We weren't talking about politics. We weren't talking about voting. We weren't talking about how to become politicians. We weren't talking about doing what other cultures do, becoming lawyers, doctors, creating things in our community so we can empower our culture, right? We're now figuring that out, like what happened in Alabama. We not singing praise Jesus overcome and hope the system takes care of it. We took it into our own hands. It's the same thing with the MEAC and the SWAC. You either adapt and put it in your own hands and make a move, or you're going to be knocking on a door looking and saying, oh, Lord Jesus, we just don't know what to do. And we the mighty SWAC, that nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care. I'm going to say this one time.
Especially after next year.
It's only a matter of time. You either make a super conference or you don't. I mean, they are willing to put swimming teams and track teams and bring them from California all over here to Jersey to go against Rutgers. That's all I'm going to say.
Say that again. You just dropped the jewel. They are willing. Because hold up. We always talk about basketball and football, but you just dropped the little jewel that people aren't paying attention. Name the sports that you just named.
They are willing to take swimming teams and track teams from California and bring them all the way to New Jersey and Rutgers to compete, because they're all part of the Big Ten. Remember when I talked about that first time? It's not just, they keep looking at football. It's basketball, baseball, water polo, track, swimming, soccer. They're all in the mix of this, right? So they got the networks backing them. I've been saying it. How in the hell are y'all are not going to survive sitting on YouTube TV? And mind you, you're not even on YouTube TV. You're on a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And you don't even have a network backing you. You don't have a network backing you. You could have been with. That's what Dion was trying to do. That's why he's sitting in Colorado laughing. Y'all didn't want to listen to me. Y'all going to be banging on the door. You think I'm playing. Now, the coaches, and he made a good point. So the coaches, they not in the position I'm in. They not prime time, and that's not a shot. They just not prime time. They don't carry that same level, right? But he was trying to help them. Y'all too arrogant and cocky thinking y'all just going to keep doing what y'all doing.
And I saw all the media, oh, what he knows, yeah, we still going to be around. You know, basically Jackson State was, you know, such and such before prime time. Okay.
They might, and I'm being nice, might have it for years because the ACC, they want out. Clemson, those schools like Clemson, Florida State, in its reports, they're not even hiding it. They're basically saying, yo, we've played Alabama. We compete with Alabama. Florida State's like, even when we're not that great. Miami too, because Miami's in the ACC. That was another school I forgot. They done all made it clear. We are the big boys. Everybody else that's around us is eating off of what we bring in the table, right? So why we ain't over here with these Power Fives, these power conference? We make this power conference, but y'all went. Think about it if you're them, right? Not to sidetrack. I'm sorry. We okay?
Yeah.
Think about it if you're them. Looking at, I'm going to say these schools again: Miami, North Carolina, Florida State, and there's somebody else, Clemson, right? They just watched Oregon, Washington. I'm going to say that again: Washington and Utah. Really?
Mm-hmm.
They Washington and Utah. Y'all took them. I'm sorry, and if I'm them, they are right, but they're locked in that deal. This is what I'll be saying. I don't remember Arizona or Utah being in the championship game, and I'm not talking about your expanded playoffs. I'm talking about in 4 when we had to go beat Alabama. I'm sorry. Why we not invited over there? Can you tell me why? You don't think we deserve that money? Because I guarantee we're going to bring it to that deal when we come into that football tournament. You get where I'm going with this?
Mm.
So on one end, this has so many layers and so many effects. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding all over the place. I'm just kind of pulling jewels from how this is affecting it. And there's going to be a part 2 to this. But I will tell you this. You ask me what effects this is going to have.
For HBCUs.
It's going to, for HBCU, okay, let me stick with that. They will not, that conference will be both conferences will be non-existent in the next 5 years. Because I can assure you the ACC, what I just talked about Miami and them, they can't go anywhere. And even at this TV deal, they got to sit in there for 10 years and deal with it. They'll figure it out. So I give it maybe 5. You got 5 years. And you either are going to be defunct and not knowing what you're doing. Nobody's going to care about it. Matter of fact, look at it. If you ever look at SWACs, because I studied their schedules, if you look at it, they only played with themselves in the conferences.
Yep.
I've never seen Mississippi Valley State ever come up here. And I'm talking about mid-majors. Let's bring that up.
You could be playing mid-major schools to get recognized.
Even Albany. I've never. You think Mississippi Jackson State never came on the East Coast? They never even went on the West Coast. Go look at. Do me a favor, and for our audience and our podcast, go look at the mid majors. You know they have the tournament.
There's a lot of mid-major schools.
The playoff tournament, right? When you look at the playoff tournament, there's I forgot the number, but it's a tournament full of schools. It ain't like 10, 8. It's like 16, maybe 20. There's a number of schools, right? I've never seen Jackson State, Southern, Mississippi Valley State, Delaware State,
Alcorn.
I've never seen them come on the East Coast. None of them. And the only reason the MEAC we see them is because I don't know what their connection is with Albany.
We're not just talking about football. We're talking about basketball, softball, all of it.
None of them. They never come up here. I don't understand. So you're not even doing it on that level. You're that arrogant? You really think? Let me tell you something. You're gonna get a wake up call in a minute. I can assure you, you are gonna get a wake up call soon. So that commissioner that's in the SWAC, that I don't know his name, and I ain't gonna say nothing derogatory. The commissioner for the MEAC, you enjoy it now. You got 5 years. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but one thing I am right about: if y'all don't combine together, y'all gonna be up out of it. Y'all gonna be in trouble. Ain't nobody trying to watch no game. You crazy? You haven't even solidified getting attention. It's more than just having a SWAC Media Day and the MEAC Media Day on ESPN. Because on your basketball programs, it's on a Zoom. It's on a Zoom.
Let's not even get there because then we'll end up.
No. I'm not going to go
over.
into a rant, but I'm just saying it's on a Zoom.
I'm talking about the schedule just in general, like from what we studied and saw.
I understand, but what I'm saying is that they try to push it on football because football makes a lot of money. I get it. But even your basketball programs, I mean, what are you doing? What attention are you bringing? I can't even watch it on the ESPN app unless you're playing in school. We cover, let's bring this, and I'm bringing this last point up. We're with and I'm talking about basketball, but I'm also bringing football in this. For basketball, we cover predominantly American East, Atlantic 10, and we covered the MEAC. I hardly ever see HBCU come up here. Delaware State comes up. Bethune-Cookman came up for
Coppin
2 games,
State.
the women. Yeah.
Coppin State.
And it's that
Select
bad.
few.
And then you wonder why when we get to tournaments, we get blown out. So I forgot who won the MEAC, but whoever won, they got blown out. They never had a chance. But it was an accomplishment. I was proud of them, but they never had a chance because they're not competing against them. To be honest with you, so we covered the American East, right?
Yes.
I would if I was the SWAC, I forgot who won the conference for the men's, I would make them go play Vermont. Every year, I would find the top team in that school in the mid-major conference who made a tournament, and we're going to go up there and go play them. And even if we get beat by 80, we're going to figure it out. We have to. We can't just keep being happy to just be here and there and not getting any money. These networks don't care. You think, even if they go and combine right now, if they go knock on ESPN's door and say, yo, we'll go 50-50 with you, I mean, where the time slot's going to go? For what? Nobody even knows. You're not promoting. So, like I said, there's so many layers to this. This is part one.
This is part one. This is going to be a bigger discussion in a couple of weeks when we come back to the podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody tuned in, and I'll let you end it.
Well,
off.
no, I had so many notes on this. Let me make this clear. And there was another topic we had, but I'll get into it. Let's just say this. It's so many layers to this that we're probably going to have like a longer discussion and have to do this like, a part 2 and 3. But I will say this. It's what I called out last year. I was 1,000% right. For anybody, I don't know if we're going to play that rewind that clip, but if you go back and listen to that clip, I was 1,000% right. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this.
And I'll just end off by saying, MEAC and the SWAC, I hope y'all take heed because we would like to see our conferences and schools evolve. We would like to see more talent come in for softball, for track, for football and basketball. But y'all going to have to figure it out very soon. He gave you 5 years. That's nice because I'm really 2 or 3 seasons.
Yep.
But shout out to everybody tuned in, whether it's one person or whether it's 100 people. We had a lot to talk about and discuss, man.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll be back for more.
All right. 1.